Okay, we're live, and just one second, let me start recording. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're live.
Hello and welcome to the Waking Up Spiritually podcast. We're so thrilled to have you here as we do our first YouTube live in our Waking Up Spiritually YouTube channel. I'm Wendy Rose Williams, and I am a past life energy healer. And I have the gift and the fun of getting to help people release stuck energy, whether it's chronic pain, both physical and emotional, anxiety, depression, or just feeling like you are stuck in second gear. And when we're able to release that energy that does not serve us, my goodness, life feels so much happier and healthier, and that we have a purpose and have the resources to be able to enjoy and live that purpose. So I'm going to turn the microphone metaphorically over to Greg Kirk, my co-host, and he's going to walk you through today's broadcast, which we have purposely kept on the down low from me. So I don't know what the slides are that he's going to share, and you'll find out why in a minute.
Hey,
So
hi
welcome,
everyone.
Greg.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm Greg Kirk. I'm an energy worker. I'm a Lyme disease advocate, and I have also written a book called The Gratitude Curve, which is 6 years old now, and I'm working on a second book. Anyway, in order to reach out to me and find out what I'm doing, if you would like to schedule a session, go to gregkirk.com. My name is spelled GREGGKIRK.com. And I also do every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern Time online healing circles via Zoom. And every month we do at least one gathering in person in Connecticut, where I live, either a fire circle or we do a healing in a salt cave. So reach out there. A lot of listeners have reached out. A lot of readers of my book have reached out, and it's turned into some long-term positive relationships, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, today Wendy and I are having some fun. This is the third time we've done this. This is the second time we've done this thing in particular. This is our third paranormal episode. So we've collected a number of photos and videos that we've gotten ourselves. So this isn't just random stuff. So there's some veracity that we can vouch for. Some of them are our own photographs, but this what we did in our last episode is a majority of the photographs and videos Wendy's never seen before. So it's that whole style of thing you see on YouTube quite a bit, which is first viewing, first reactions is what I've seen people do. So sometimes people will play a song to somebody they've never heard, and they listen to it and they have a reaction to it. Well, we're going to do it with paranormal videos and photographs. Now, there is one section of this of our broadcast today that Wendy is familiar with because it's her own photographs. So she'll walk us through that. And unfortunately, I've seen them already, so I won't be surprised. But it'll still be great to see Wendy's own personal photos, and they're spectacular photos. So without further ado, let me pull up the PowerPoint deck. And Wendy, do you want to explain about this?
Absolutely. So, for those of you who are listening, fantastic. We do this as a visual podcast, so you're welcome to go to either the YouTube channel or to the podcast apps, Apple iTunes, or to our website. Our website is wakingupspiritually.com, and it's got a wonderful search feature on it, so you can use it to look for topics of interest, whether it's past lives, energy management, connecting with your guide, whatever it might be. And also, I forgot to mention my own website, which is wendyrosewilliams.com. And you're so welcome to visit me there. So, okay, here we go, Greg. First viewing of paranormal experiences.
Yes. So, I'm including a slide, Wendy, you put together for our last broadcast, just so we can kind of frame, lay the groundwork for what we're about to see. Um, why don't you go ahead and take this since you
So,
created this slide?
what do you create? What do you consider paranormal? Is it something mystical? Is that perhaps a great definition for you? Supernatural, that's the word that comes to mind for a lot of people. It's something that's beyond the scope of current scientific understanding. And it's an extraordinary event, experience, or ability. And you might have some additional definitions. And if you do, we'd love to see them in the comments. What do you consider paranormal?
Right. So I would have to say that what you're about to see uh, goes under the category of each one of those. So we got the full range covered today. So Wendy, here we go. So we're starting off a little less well, a little less supernatural and more just kind of unexplained. So these unusual cloud sightings these are photographs from me that I've taken over the last year, from almost year, from August 2023 to this month, June 2024. So
Okay.
the reason I took these is I've never seen clouds like this ever. So, and there are some other lenticular clouds, which are my favorite clouds to take. I've never seen them in my state, much less in my neighborhood. So let me just move right into this. So this just happened a few days ago, June 7th, 2024. We had a pink sky that affected the rainbow that was over the Long Island Sound. So these are two beaches. One is Westport, and the other is, I think, Calf Pasture. Beaches in Fairfield County. I've never seen anything like this. I've seen rainbows, obviously, but I've never seen a pink sky. So this was an unusual sky this night. It was a pink sky, which I've seen before, but the clouds were going beyond where the light hit, and they were pink as well. It's hard to describe. I didn't take very good pictures of just the cloud formations, but this was stunning to see a rainbow that was pink. I've never seen that before. So,
I've not either. This is my first time seeing something like this. I mean, we know Earth is working so hard to heal herself and to cool herself off. And we know that the atmosphere and things have been changing so profoundly and so quickly that it's just amazing to see things like this. I mean, with that pink globe with the rainbow, it almost feels like a globe to me. It almost feels like, like a world above the world.
yeah, like a big aura or a big dome or something. Yeah,
It feels very, it feels very heart-centered to me, just, that pink energy.
right. Yeah, it felt good. Just again, I'm not exactly sure what could have caused the pink color to change the color of the rainbow. That's just fascinating to me.
It
Anyway,
is, because by definition, a rainbow is all different
all the
colors.
colors, right? Exactly. And
So
and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Maybe this isn't a rainbow. Maybe this is something else, some other phenomena.
that's a possibility too. And perhaps there's someone with a um, with an earth science background, with an astronomy background that will enlighten us in the comments, and I'd love
Yes.
to hear it.
Yes, please. Yeah. So anyway, so right now this is unexplained. Possibly it's a meteorological phenomenon that can be explained. If so, please let us know. Okay, this is something I saw last October. It was cloud formations I've never seen. I've even got a bit of a video for this. So these were thunderheads that I've seen thunderheads go down. I've never seen them go up. They looked like stalactites and stalagmites that you would see in a cave. So let me just flip through these a little bit. And
Ask
this
you
is
who your bricklayer was for this.
right. This is right off the coast of where I take my dog every week. So this was an easy one for me to see and to shoot because we were right there, and it was just we got out of the car, and I just had this feeling of awe. Like these were massive, massive clouds, probably a few miles tall. So here's they went all across the coast. So you can see they went up and they went down. And there's a better view for pulling back. Also shows you the beautiful place where I live. So but just look at this. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but
I can.
see the differences in the clouds here. This is almost like a carpet, and then you've got this. You can see the edges of these strange formations.
Right, right. I don't know
Kind
if
of,
it's fast moving different temperatures or
yeah.
what's going on.
But then there's more of these pillars going on in
Right.
the
And it's like,
background.
who's holding it all up?
Yeah, yeah, crazy stuff. So, all right, let me just stop for a second. I'm going to show you the video that I shot. And are you are you able to see this?
I see it, but it's not moving as a video right now.
Okay, let me just make sure we got this going right. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'm going to share again.
I could hear
And
the sound in the background like you would hear in a video.
okay, can you see it now?
I see it as a still photo still.
Yeah,
I
now.
see it. I see it on 6 second. Oh, now it's going as a video. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. That was the expanse of this. I've never seen.
Wow, this is huge.
Yeah, exactly. Miles and miles wide, and maybe a few miles tall. Pretty spectacular.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah, so let me go back to this. Sorry about all the jumping back and forth, but this is the technology we have today, so we're doing the best we can. All right, so again, this one I have to admit we shared this in a broadcast a few months ago in August actually of last year. So Wendy and I have shown lenticular clouds. That these are the types of clouds that look kind of like saucers. They typically appear above a mountain naturally. Sometimes they appear out on their own. I've never seen them appear in a suburban or an urban setting, but I
I've not
apparently
either like
right.
that. I've seen them out in nature. I've seen them like above Mount Shasta in California.
Yes, and that's so there's the ufologists. Some ufologists will say this is a a masking or a cloaking device for a giant mothership. Maybe it is. I'm open to anything, but it just was strange that this cloud appeared. There's no other clouds around it. It just appeared
Right, right.
dead center in the
Did
sky,
it
right,
move
above.
quickly, could you tell, or did it seem
No,
like it was in one
it
place?
wasn't moving at all.
Huh.
Yeah, and I was driving around different parts of my town and taking pictures. So, very strange, very cool. But
My guides are saying ship, ship, ship.
well, I that was a feeling I got too.
Interesting.
Okay, Wendy, we're gonna move on
Right.
to your stuff.
Let me
And
walk you through a couple here. Let's start in the bottom left.
well, I have them just in an order, so you
Oh,
just go.
okay. Of
Yeah,
course.
I put the individual
Oh,
photos on different slides, so
got
you
it.
just explain what comes up.
Sure. So this one was, I was woken up in the middle of the night. I was sound asleep and I woke up because my guides were just repeating insistently, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. And so I'm like half asleep, okay, three-quarters asleep, laying on my side in bed, and I grabbed my phone and took the picture. And they were talking about over my altar. So you can see in the upper left this like bowed area with light coming in. No, that is not my thumb over the lens. So, and I went back to sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, did I take a picture during the night? So I looked on my phone and I did. And I found this and I could feel my heart opening. And I asked my guides what it was. And they said they gave me a special treat. And I got to see the white light of home. It was coming in above my altar. The only light source in the room is you can see a tiny tea light burning
Right.
on the altar.
Yeah.
It was something that I did for years to help raise my vibration and frequency. I went through a really, really tough period for several years with with a lot of psychic attacks. And my guide said, you need to raise your vibration and frequency. And one way to do so is to create a home altar, set a great intent before you go to sleep, and to have a white light burning there. So, but there's no other light source in the room. So it's not like a reflection from something. I mean, it was pitch black other than this little tiny tea light. But what a treat.
Wow.
And then, you think, okay, is that me wishful thinking? Is that me being fanciful? What is it? So I sent the picture to my spiritual teacher at the time. I didn't tell her anything about it. I just said, what do you think this is? What do you see in this picture? And she said, oh my gosh, how did you get that picture of the white light of home? She used
Nice.
the exact same expression that my guides had.
Right.
And yes, we have to get our deepest truth from ourselves. We've got to look within. But it is really cool when you occasionally get that external, validation too.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one is more clear. It's a different time. You can see, uh, again, you can see I am 3/4 asleep because the pictures, that's why it's kind of like not level, because I woke up and it was the same experience. And this is a different time because you can see there's less on the altar and there's, some different things there. Again, the candle burning. And that time I'm actually burning the violet flame. I've got a purple candle because for a while I was working daily with the violet flame. And same thing. I wake up in the middle of the night and the guides say, take a picture. And same experience. When I woke up in the morning, it's like, did I do something during the night? I have a feeling I took a picture. Why'd I do that?
Mm.
And I looked and there it was. I mean, the definition to it,
Yeah.
it's that bowing and it's just really coming in. So my goodness, do you need a stronger endorsement, of the power of having a home altar and the power of, burning a candle.
Hmm.
It's just so cool to know that connection that I was working to bring in as I was working to raise my vibration and frequency. It was working because here it is, photographic proof.
Beautiful. And this looks
Wow.
like another time
Does
too.
this get much bigger?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's another night, same experience, and just and looking back, because I looked at the time date stamps on these pictures, looking back on it, I was feeling better and better. It's like my health was starting to just improve so much. I was letting go of so much fear. I was letting go of so much anxiety. And it's just magnificent to just see, more and more of that white light of home and
Hmm.
to know that it really is here. It's within us and it's all around us. And we just need to tune into that energy. That's what this series of photos is.
Amazing. This one's the most spectacular one of all, I think.
It is.
Okay.
Now, this one is really interesting. My daughter, this is my youngest daughter, early teens. She did not know I snapped this just casual picture of her. She's at my mom's house, and my daughter had not been feeling well. So this was her first day feeling better. And she said, I'm going over to grandmom's. And she and my mom are deep in conversation and having a snack. I can see my mom's got like the nice little Liberty Blue dishes out for her. And uh and my guide said, and I'd been sending her healing. She was under 18. I asked her higher self's permission. They said, yes, absolutely, you can send her healing. And I had no idea this was going to show up in the picture, but they just said, oh, snap a picture. And it's like, it's just, really cute how she's so, talking with her grandmother. And I took it. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the white light coming in for her. And she's feeling better. So I could actually see healing energy coming in for her. in that upper left corner. Again, there's nothing in the room that would have caused this. I mean, it looks almost like a sun.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
nothing in the room that there's no, it's not like a reflection from a lamp. No, it's not my finger over the lens. It's just, please choose your belief. Tune into your higher self. Ask your guides what you think it is. You may have a different interpretation. I fully respect that. And it's important to learn our own discernment. But my belief is it was healing energy for my daughter.
Love it.
Now, this one is a really interesting photo. And I do energy healing sessions with clients via Zoom. And typically, after getting face to face with the client and just starting the session, we turn our cameras off because I'm just getting an audio recording for people, and that way it's just easier for Zoom to just record audio. This gentleman did not happen to know how to turn off his camera, so I said, "Don't worry about it. Just lay your phone down. That's fine." So this was reflecting up toward his ceiling. And my guide said, take a picture. There's so much going on. So we were in healing temple. We were bringing in colored healing lights. There just was so much going on in his healing session, and they said, take a picture. So this is literally a picture of my computer screen of what was going on his end. And I just thought it was incredible to see again the healing energies going in, because normally the healing energies in the healing temple, I'm like visualizing them, I'm imagining them with my third eye. So to get to have a human 3D picture of it, I just thought was really, really cool.
It's amazing. There's all kinds of things going on.
Lots going on here.
My cursor, there's like little orbs. There's a penguin
Exactly.
there. Some kind of a
Exactly.
shape
There
there.
was so much going on. Exactly.
Yeah.
This story is amazing. I had a shared death experience with my uncle as he was passing on, and he what did he call it? Like a rock star, like on their farewell tour was what he called it. And my cat, midnight woke me up about 5 in the morning by standing right on my chest, and woke me up one morning, and he was just staring in a corner of my bedroom. So I woke up at the cat's prompting and looked over, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's Uncle Jack. It's my mother's older brother. And he had been very ill. He was had been in a nursing home and then had gone home to on hospice. And he was so thrilled to be back in his own home, and lived on the water, on the Outer Banks in the Carolinas, and was thrilled to be there. So I said, Jack, what's going on? He says, oh, I'm on my farewell tour. And he went home to his physical home to pass on home, back up to the light. So we had this lovely conversation. And Greg, I could see him de-aging. The way he was no longer in this broken down body of a very, elderly, very, very sick, shrunken up older gentleman who could no longer walk on his own. It was to the point where it took two people in the nursing home to, even get him up to be able to go to the bathroom. And so he's now passing on at home with his wife and with a hospice uh, angel nurse there. And we had this lovely conversation. I asked him if he wanted to practice walking to the light, and he said, yes, I would like to do that. So we did that, and just, had really awesome conversation. And I could see him de-aging. He looked like he was in his 40s. It looked like it was back in the 1970s. It was like the late 1970s when I was finishing up high school. And he was divorced. He spent a lot of time at our home. He used to come over almost every day after work, and he was wearing these raggy denim shorts. He like couldn't wait to be done with his like job as an engineer. He had, he's got the three-piece suit on. He couldn't wait to like change into his t-shirt. and his denim shorts. So that's how he showed up with like a beer in his hand with like a cozy over it to keep it cold.
Mhm. Hmm.
And I think it was just like kind of like a favorite time of life for both of us when I spent a lot of time. So I could see him de-aging as he was passing on home. So I was not surprised to get a call at work a couple hours later that day and to hear, Jack passed on. And I thought, yeah, I saw him on his farewell tour.
That
And
is,
both daughters, I later compared notes with my cousins, and they both said, "Oh, wow, I could really feel Dad's presence that morning. It's like he came to me in a dream, but it got really lucid." And so shared death experiences, really very, very powerful, amazing experience. So what this photo is, it was 1 or 2 days later, and we decided that we would go ahead and we'd already purchased tickets, and it was going to be a family outing to go see the Christmas lights and go up to Warm Beach, an hour or so north of where we lived in Seattle. So my daughters and I are standing next to this big artificial snowman, and I just was really feeling Jack's presence again. And I'd been praying for him to have this beautiful passing back up onto the light. And the funeral was going to be in a few days. I wasn't able to go to it, but my mom flew out for it. So this is in that time period. It's after he's passed, but before the memorial service.
okay.
And again, I'm just picturing him going up to the light. So, I took a lot of pictures that night, and we sat down while we were at Warm Beach, and we were like warming up because it was really cold out. You could tell we're all bundled up. There was a brisk cold wind, and we were having some hot cocoa and some homemade donuts. And I just was kind of like flipping through my pictures that I'd taken, and I almost dropped the phone when I saw this one. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is Jack going back home,
Hmm.
going on up to the light. And I mean, you can see it from the ground all the way up. And I thought, well, Wendy, be practical. Maybe there's some uplighting to like light up this snowman or something. So I went back, I retraced my steps, and I went back and I walked all around it, and I looked, and there was nothing physical that it could have caused this lighting. I mean, you can hardly see me in the picture. I'm the little short one. I've got one tall daughter on my right, and I've got my other tall daughters on the left of the snowman. But look at that. And again, I sent the photo to my spiritual teacher. I didn't say anything to her other than we had an interesting evening out seeing the Christmas lights. And she looked at it and she said, "Wow, look at your uncle going home. Look at that white light of home and that beam. It's almost like a portal that's
Yeah.
opened with my prayer, with her prayer, with other people's prayers, and gratitude and thanks to him for a life well lived, and for everything he'd meant to us and done for us." But there it is. It's
Very,
sort
very
of, journeying home.
cool. Nice.
So, if you've ever heard, this is me in 1961, and I'm probably about a month or so old, maybe 2 months old. I'm wearing my grandfather's christening gown from 1906. We still have this christening gown in the family. And if you've ever heard of the concept of everyone having a guardian angel, oh my goodness, look in the upper left of the photo. So this is my very young dad in his early 20s holding me. But I see in pink, I see the angel wings. I see the body of the angel, and look at the glow from it. Look at the love and just the energy coming from that angel. And I just was shocked to find this picture of my guardian angel because I had not known it was there. And then when I shared this photo one year on Father's Day, I was like, oh my gosh, look at it. There it is.
Mhm.
There's also some little pictures. Looks like some of the Donald Duck series, behind Dad's head. So we're in my bedroom, evidently.
Cute.
But there's my angel.
Nice.
This is an amazing hike that I took with two friends up to Ramona Falls in Oregon. And the orbs were just incredible. There was so much spiritual energy. We got just, it was it was a 7 mile hike. It was the longest hike I had ever been on. And I was healing a lot of back pain and mobility issues. So I didn't know if I was going to make it. So we kind of had an agreement. We're gonna, try and make it, but if I need to turn around, no shame.
Mhm.
If I only make part of the hike. And one of my friends that was with me had just had major unplanned surgery. She ended up having to have a total hysterectomy, and she'd been in the hospital for a couple of days. But we made it to the top, and we just had an incredible experience because it was a past life pilgrimage. And we found that we had been in separate past lives in that lifetime, and we'd intersected for about a minute in that lifetime. And I saw her drown, and I wasn't able to do anything about it because she was the other side of the mighty Columbia River. This isn't looking like much water because of where we are, but it was at a different point and place on the hike. But it was just amazing to see all the spiritual energy. And I don't have a picture of it, but she took some pictures of the waterfalls, and there was so much spiritual energy. It was like a very busy kitchen, commercial kitchen in a restaurant where there's the indoor and the outdoor, and we could see these two doors of like all the spiritual energy going into the waterfall and then one-way traffic coming out of it so they wouldn't all bump into each other. They had two doors.
Wow. So I would consider these classic orbs, and
Mhm.
what makes them classic? They all have kind of like a rim around them. Inside, you see kind of spiral shapes. They're radiating out. They're all spherical. Um, we're going to see some orbs later that go beyond this and
Yeah.
go into different shapes and other geometrical forms. So it's beautiful though. Yeah, multiple. Man, there's I can't even count how many orbs I'm seeing.
Exactly. There was so much spiritual energy. It really was a tremendous, tremendous hike. And on the way up, I was surprised. I started doing better and better. And I had been in the back of the three people, and suddenly I was in front and I was leading. And the past life that was coming through was as a wagon train leader. And so it was just really interesting that, all of a sudden I was able to lead. Uh, Going down was a different matter. I found going down much harder. She found going up harder. And we kind of joked, well, Wendy's got all that lung power, all that talking.
Hmm.
I didn't find that as hard, whereas going down for me was much more jarring on my hips and my back. I found harder on that, moving kind of trail where it's not steady footing. And my other two friends did better on that, so I definitely lagged going back down.
One more, Wendy. It's a couple of
Yes.
shots.
So the one on the left, this is at my dad and stepmom's home. They have the good fortune to live on Brompton Lake, Quebec, which has been family land. It was purchased when I was 4 years old, so been in the family many years, and our family's been on this small, wonderful little lake for generations. And what's going on here? It's not that clear in the photo, but this is a photo of my aura. And this was put through Aura software. And it's not showing distinctly here, so I'll have to describe it to you. But an aura should be around us. And my aura instead was to my right. And it was yellow at that time. Auras are changing all the time. But it was like I was not within my aura. And this was during a time period when I was really raising my vibration and frequency. It was back in 2013, and it was when I first moved up to 5D, to the fifth spiritual dimension. And I kept getting these constant messages, dreams, meditations, random messages, all different ways. Go to the right, go to the right, go to the right.
Hmm.
And I had two psychic medium friends tell me, and I said, "What is with all these messages to go to the right?"
Hmm.
Both just smiled and said, "I can't tell you. I'm not supposed to tell you. Just know that you're doing everything right. Keep doing what you're doing." And it was to get me aligned with my higher self. It was to get me, I needed to go to the right, literally. And that
Right.
did happen through just an amazing experience where I did get what I had in a sentence. I'd put the trash out one night and taken it way down past three homes. We were down this long gravel private drive. I took the trash out. How symbolic, letting go of what we don't need. Put it out, and I went to walk back to my front porch, and all of a sudden I was thrown like 10 feet to the right. I'm standing in front of my own lamppost, which is way to the right of the porch, the front porch and entry, going, how did I get here? And I was like, was that an earthquake? Because it was like being thrown. And I was like, whoa, I feel better. I feel more aligned. I feel more in my body. I feel more on the planet. I feel more connected. So I asked my guides, what just happened? And they said, welcome to your higher self. You went to the right. We gave you a little assist. And because it was literally like a 10-foot, if I could make that physical move again, you'd be paying me millions in pro sports if I could make that move again. But that's what was happening. And then the other photo, again, it's not showing particularly clearly. It's interesting, things just kind of change as we upload them to PowerPoint and are working with them. But there's kind of a streak kind of across my waist and below my daughter's waist. And there's just this streak of, it's fairies. My belief is it's fairies.
Uh,
And it's kind of hard to see streaking across there. This was Mother's Day, and she surprised me with this wonderful outing that she planned, and she arranged for a tour of a chocolate factory. And this was just a picture that my mom snapped of us outside in the garden before we headed off for our tour. It was just a really nice mother and daughter moment. And I had just finished Mother's Day weekend is when I traditionally put my fairy gardens outside. So I had just finished putting them all out, and I'm like, oh wow, it feels like there's fairies around. And then I saw in the photo, I'm like, I can't make them out in it, but I could feel them, I could feel them kind of like streaking by, thank you for the gardens. So that's what this photo is.
nice. Well, so here are a set of images and videos that we've gotten from a listener who is okay with us letting everyone know his first name is John. He's lent us some videos in the past. He reached out to me recently and said he's got more stuff, and boy, he did not disappoint. So, stuff I've absolutely never seen before. So some stuff or videos in the past, he sent us spectacular orb videos. He's got, so just a brief situation. His guides told him years ago when he moved into this house to start setting up a bunch of surveillance cameras in his house, in different rooms and on the outside. And after he did so, he started seeing these orbs everywhere. One of the more spectacular ones we saw last time was, it looked like a waterfall of orbs moving around in his living room. So we've got similar things. Well, I'm not going to describe it. I'm just going to show you. Okay, so here's a couple of still shots of orbs that appeared in some of his videos. Now, I don't call these traditional orbs. So the one in the upper right looks more like a glow, like what reminds me of one of your photographs, Wendy. Like, I don't, not as powerful as light from home, but very, very bright orb with some radiance to it. But these orbs on the bottom have little pieces, or they almost look like
Planets or faces. I mean,
yeah,
two of them, the left and the center, look like planets. The one on the right looks almost like a mask.
yeah, like a face. Yeah, exactly. There's
Man
one
on
that
the moon.
right, the one he sent. I said it looks like Pac-Man. Not one of these, but
Right?
anyway. So these are the inside of his house. Here's some more. Now here's some very unusual ones. So
Wow.
yeah, so let's start with in the upper right. That's an orb. It looks like it has a fist in it. Here's another orb that has a core. It looks like a cell, but a
Hmm.
very pronounced perimeter.
The
Here's
rim, yes, the edging.
right there's more of a blur, but here's another one of a ring with something going on in the center. Here's an orb that stretched out and went ovoid, egg shaped.
Hmm.
And then over on the right, I don't know what this is. This is I don't know if it's multiple orbs or if it's a streak of something, but
That's
strange.
really, really interesting. I almost feel like it's like a belt for like a superhero.
Right? Yeah, like a championship,
Like a
wrestler's belt or
right,
something.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Um, okay, gonna keep going on. Yeah. So yeah, again, strange pieces. It almost look like in these orbs. So the one in the upper left, a dark spot in it, and the one to the right of that, chunks missing or something. Another ovoid orb with a bright spot in the middle, and then this one, this
It's
looks like
so complex. It's like
it
a
looks
work
like
of art.
yeah, it looks like the Death Star from Star Wars or something. It looks like a planet. You know,
It does look like a planet. My goodness. It makes
and
me think of decoupage almost, where you'd like put the, pieces of tissue paper over something. It's like the different
oh
overlay.
right, yeah. So I'm gonna go to his. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go to his videos because his videos are the uh, the most spectacular stuff. So let's. Okay, actually, let me. Sorry. Uh oh. Okay, so let me get this going here.
You can visit us at wakingupspiritually.com and just look for what you need help with. And if you don't find a podcast on that topic, please email us and let us know your suggestion. Let us know what you need help with. Because if you've got the question and aren't finding that we've covered that topic, very likely other people have the question or the need also. So we love getting your feedback.
Okay, we're back.
All
Back in
right.
business. So this is John's living room. We've seen this in the past. We've seen like a waterfall of orbs going around. I just want to draw your attention to his vertical blinds, and I had to ask him about this because I said, "Did you have your windows open, or was the wind blowing through your vertical blinds?" He said, "No, he had just closed his windows prior." So this is going to look a little creepy to some people because the movement in the blinds is not natural, and then there's some other stuff going on as well.
And there's no like heat vent below it. There's
No.
no what
So,
we
so
would think of as a, oh my,
yeah,
oh
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go back there a second. That was not a
my
traditional
God.
orb. So look at this. Keep your eye in the center of the screen. There's something that's not an orb that's going to come through. See that?
I certainly did.
Looks like a clump of something, of yarn or something. It just went flying through the air.
Some sort of spiritual energy or some sort of being. And Greg, that kind of fits with the windows because often um, beings come in through windows, just attracted to that, that glass, and we could see the movement. Oh, that's just wild.
Okay, are you seeing this one okay? Does it look like a different? Well, it's the same living room. I just want to make sure
Okay.
we're broadcasting well. This is one where you'll see his dog in the bottom, the
Okay.
very very bottom of the screen, and these orbs like playing with his dog.
Oh,
So you'll see. Okay, can you see the bottom where his dog is?
don't see the dog.
And you're seeing things fly around, orbs
I'm
flying
seeing
around.
the orbs move around quickly.
You'll see his dog again. Yeah, their own orb went right by the camera. Look at all these orbs, and then okay, there's his dog's tail
Oh,
in the
now I
bottom.
see the dog. So kind of in front of the love seat, I can see like a little bit of the tail.
Right, but look at all these orbs just
Wow.
going around his dog, playing, having fun with his dog. It's very cute. There went another cluster of whatever. Oh, there's his dog right by the love seat. You can see his
Yes.
tail.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, very
That's
very.
great.
All right, now here's one that is not an orb. This is a sewing room. So look at this thing in the upper left coming down.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to replay that because that was, I don't know what that is. Look at that. And it kind of jumps. It has streaks to it. I'm going to play
Right.
it one more time. Look, upper left, and it kind of stutters and shoots down.
I
Not
wonder if whoever is the seamstress in the house had been asking for help or advice.
well.
Was that their helper coming in?
Yeah, well, so I think the seamstress has seen her backside is seen in this one. So watch this, and this is even more spectacular with the filament, is what I called it. Watch this filament
Oh my goodness. I've never
following,
seen that
following.
before.
It's kind of creepy. It looks like it was following her. Like, watch this. It's just kind of ambling through the air, like, hey, where are you going?
Well, I'm choosing not to think of it as creepy or scary. It's just what's the famous Shakespeare quote? There's more things on heaven and earth, Horatio, than are thought of in your philosophy.
Mhm.
You know,
True.
Hamlet's quote to Horatio. There's just so many things we don't understand, and we know the veil is thinning, not only from home up to the light, up to the heavens, whatever term you use, to the universe,
Right.
but also to different dimensions, to different planets and galaxies. So very interesting.
Well, yeah. Well, and like John said, he and I both talked about this. He said none of these beings feel malevolent in any way. They all feel
Oh,
benevolent.
exactly.
Kind, and they play like playing with his dog, and that so
Right.
that's cute. So here's a longer form. This is just a bunch of orbs. This is an average night in his house with an
Party,
orb party. Yeah,
party time. Well, no wonder he was told to set up cameras,
yeah.
just
I
like
mean,
I was told to take a picture.
and I can see by the clock on the wall it's about 11:40. 11:40. I don't know if this is, I guess, PM. Um, yeah, but you can see all these orbs shooting by. That one went right into the camera. It looked like.
Right, right.
Um, nice grouping of orbs. Now here's so I saved the best for last in his house. This one I cannot. I've never seen anything like this. So see this thing right up here? I'm putting my
Kind of
cursor on it.
middle ceiling.
Keep your eye on this. This is perfect because it's slow moving. It seems to have a trail, and it looks like three orbs together.
My goodness.
Isn't that something else?
I wonder if that's like a soul group, part of a soul group moving together. It
Yeah,
just ancestors is what I'm hearing.
yeah.
It's just
That's one of the most
family coming in to visit.
I'd never seen anything. That's the
I have
most
not either.
spectacular video I've ever seen with something like that.
Really interesting.
Just fantastic.
Really, really interesting. Such
And
depth to it because of there being the three they're separate yet together.
yeah, but how it just dives down, for the benefit of the camera, it comes right to the camera, dives down and goes up. Like, look at
Glad
me.
you listened to your advice. We're glad you listened to the request to set up cameras.
Right. All right. So this one's a little difficult, maybe difficult to see. So this is outside of his house. So it's the first time we've got the outside of John's place.
Okay.
Um, I'm going to kind of do what's called scrubbing the video, where I'm going to move forward and backwards using the cursor. There's
Okay.
different spots here that go dark, and there was no change in light. It's different splotches throughout, and they're going to be corroborated by a different camera view. So I'm just going to ask you to pay attention to certain areas where it looks like energy that's a little more dense and dark, not pitch black, but just kind of darker than the available light and a little murky, moves around, and then there's another camera view of the same stuff. So
Okay.
watch this. Some of it appears down here. This is the end of John's driveway, so in the area where my cursor is.
Okay.
Others you'll see like kind of like up in this bush up in here, and then over by a neighbor's driveway, over back over there you'll see. So okay, the first one is going on near the light. So there's a little bit of unusual darkness around there. Okay. You see this? Notice John's driveway right here. I'm going to scrub over. You see that difference?
Go.
Yeah. So there's no change in light going on. That's just happening. And then simultaneously over his driveway and the bush, something strange is happening. And then right now,
Oh,
I'm
I see it by the
moving
neighbors.
the driveway. Yep. And I'm just going to let it roll. It flickered on the light again. It affected his driveway again. So actually, this was the one that. So this scene right here, I believe, where it goes over his driveway, we'll see the replay of that in another camera. So he wasn't quite sure what that was. I don't either. But let me show you the other camera view, and then maybe we can figure some things out. But just keep watching the end of his driveway. Actually, I think we waited too long. Isn't that something? Huh. Oh, there we go. There
Oh,
we
I
go.
see it.
You saw that, yeah. So that not sure what that is. It's not like a black cloud. It's not something weird like that. It's a massive energy that is making
Some
it
kind
go
of
out of focus, and it's a
energy.
little bit darker than available light.
Interesting.
Yeah, and there it happened again.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure what that was.
My guides are saying we're just seeing glimpses into other dimensions.
Okay. Well, I think John lives definitely in an area, an unusually energetic area for sure.
Area. Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Let me pull the deck back up. Okay. And okay, more unexplained. So here's some other shots from friends on Facebook. Here's a shot of someone in a cafe. What is this? It looks like a. We've seen this before with another listener of ours who shared her photos. A lot of. So this is not lens flare. This is. Because lens flares don't go into these geometric shapes.
Right,
I mean, this looks like a champagne flute or something
right.
with all multiple orbs, massive amount of light
So
coming
much
through.
going on here.
Yeah, yeah. There's like a visitations happening. Beautiful. It's
It
spectacular.
is really spectacular. And
You
like
know,
you said, Greg, the geometry to it,
yeah,
the order to it.
yeah. Whenever I see anything like this in the lower left, I know it's certainly not lens flare. It's something very special we're able to see. But I love the rainbow over on the right.
Uh-huh.
Um, and look at this.
Wow.
Yeah,
I almost missed the figure above because I was so distracted by the pink energy right below where the horse is feeding. It
yeah,
feels like the horse has a beautiful, very well defined guardian angel, and she's blessing the hay and the food for it.
Yeah, you can
Wow,
see
look
it.
at
The
that image.
rainbow wings with an aura around the figure in the
Right,
center. It's
right.
spectacular. Yeah, like you said, blessing the food with it. It looks like to me purple, like violet. You know,
Mhm.
but yeah, there's even a
Does
deep
look more
orb right there.
violet than pink.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, beautiful.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look at that. um, so I had a friend of mine who described doing this. A friend of mine who he said he woke up one night at 4 in the morning. He didn't know what he was doing. He couldn't sleep, and he went into his sunroom of his house, and he just sat there and he just started thinking about angels in the palms of his hands, and
Wow.
they appeared. He could see them very well defined, and he sent them away to be with some of his friends who were having a hard
Oh,
time. And I think that's what's going on here.
talk about literally calling in angels to assist. And angels are available to all of us, and we certainly can help them to assist with things. And it's just, I think that's such a beautiful thing to do. And people can struggle with self-worth and think, oh, I couldn't possibly do it. Well, my gosh, look at
Look at
incredible
this.
photographic evidence of it. That's just incredible. Oh,
Yeah,
those were really, really special, Greg.
yeah. This was a good one. We had a lot of good
Absolutely.
contribution.
And before we do our wrap-up slide here, I'd just like to make one announcement. I have my next book coming out, Regression Healing 2, Joe and Marilyn, will be available on Amazon starting on Monday, June 24th. And I will be having a book launch party the night of Monday, the 24th, on my own YouTube channel, which is my full name, Wendy Rose Williams. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern. So please, you're so welcome to check out the book and just get some neat surprises from it. Learn more about not just Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe, but learn more about soulmates, learn more about healing. And one of the people who's kindly reading the book right now, he just told me today that he received multiple physical healings from reading the book. And I was just so thrilled to hear that. That just made me so happy.
Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
Oh,
Well,
join us Monday, July 8th at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern for the next Waking Up Spiritually podcast. And it will be a special episode where we will be channeling Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Yeshua. And it's in honor of Mary Magdalene Day, which is on July 22nd every year. And I don't know who will be coming in to honor her, but it's typically those three. So we'll just see. Maybe Mary's going to have a larger party. I don't know. We will find out. But we'd just love to have you join us then. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as Greg mentioned at the beginning of today's broadcast, we now will be broadcasting live on the second Monday at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, right here at this YouTube channel location for Waking Up Spiritually. Just rate and review us on Apple iTunes and your other favorite podcasts. We so appreciate that. It helps people find us. And the reason Greg and I created this podcast and also the Facebook group by the same name, Waking Up Spiritually, you're so welcome to join us there, is because both of us had profound awakenings that were not easy. So we're just here to lend a helping hand because uh, spiritual awakenings, they can be isolating, they can be scary. You can feel like you're losing everything and everyone. And often that's just a symptom and a sign of raising our vibration and frequencies, like letting go of the things that don't serve us anymore, including fear and other low vibration energy. Please visit Greg at his website, which is Greg spelled GreggKirk.com. and check out The Gratitude Curve, his amazing book, as well as the Fire Circle and the other services that he offers. Greg's sessions, his phone healing sessions are amazing. I am so fortunate to have done many of them with him over the years. And please visit me at my website at wendyrosewilliams.com, my full name, and there you will find events that I'm offering. And you will also be able to sign up for a complimentary group energy clearing with Q&A from me. So thank you for being here. We so appreciate you. Love to everyone and look forward to seeing you next time.